Thanks for joining, everyone. Today, our presentation is on Count Month and what you need to know. Count Month is very important for many reasons. It's imperative that, one, you are working, you are attending, and that the state of Michigan, knows and they do track and monitor that the students are attending and working. So that's why we're going over Count Month and mentor contact. And please feel free to ask any questions when you have them. Just chat them in the chat box. Everything you need to know about making contact. Why it's important to work and make contact, again, is so that the state of Michigan knows and is aware that you're working, and your contact with your mentor must match the information, the academic information you're actually doing online. So every district has a different mentor. I have the ones listed here. So these mentors, most of them will be messaging you through Edmentum. And Edmentum, as many of you know, is a program you're doing your work in. And you see this icon right here. That's at the top right of your Edmentum program. If you see this little exclamation mark, that means you have a message there waiting for you. So it's very important that you do check these messages every day. Some of them are announcements and some of them are messages. The messages, again, from your mentor are very important. So you would click on this envelope with the exclamation and you may see a message from Miss Smith, Miss Karazinski if you're Oak Park, Mr. Thomas if you're Climax Scott. Click on that. You would access, and let me see, clicking on the envelope in the corner, and in there, in that message is actually a Google form. You click on that link for the Google form. They will ask you your name, your district, and then a few questions regarding what you've worked on the past week. And they need specific two-way communication about what you're working in. And we will go over that, what is good, what is bad contact. If for some reason you're not feeling you want to message through Edmentum messages, but you'd rather call, your mentors will take calls, so feel free to call them. So again, Edmentum messages are one way, calls, if that's what your mentor prefers, or emails or texts, if that's preferred. And every mentor is different. So a mentor contact example. Again, it has to be academic in nature. You must provide the details of what you've been learning. So what you want to include is what course you're working in. That would be like Algebra 2A, Biology B, English 9A, or Digital Media Arts. You don't want to say, I'm working in math or I'm working in science. Try to be as specific as possible. If you don't know what you're working in, all you have to do is log into Edmentum. You'll see your course. It specifies the exact course, and you can just type that in. You can also include a unit and lesson you're working in. So you could say, hey, Miss Smith, I'm working in Algebra 2A, Unit 1, Lesson 3. And again, that's very specific. The state of Michigan really wants to know that you are working, and that is one way to prove you're working. Even further, the title of what you just completed, whether it be a tutorial, a mastery test, a post-test, or even the final. You can say, hey, I finished my Algebra 2A final, if that's what you did. But an excellent, example would include the course, unit, lesson, title, and then even something you learned during that tutorial, mastery test, post-test, or even final. So you would say Algebra 2A, Unit 1, Lesson 3, Rewriting Rational Expressions. I learned how to simplify rational expressions. So here's a full, good contact example. I am currently working in Algebra 2A, Unit 1, Lesson 3. Rewriting rational expressions. During this lesson, I learned how to simplify rational expressions. I do this by canceling out common factors. You could add that, or you could say, I learned different math equations on rational expressions. Something, try and be as specific as possible. What you don't want to say is, I worked in math. I don't know if you can see that. I learned math, and I don't know the title, and I learned nothing. Nothing that I'm going to use the rest of my life. Well, state of Michigan doesn't want to hear that either. Obviously, if you're working, you're learning something. It's never nothing. You read something, you did something, you learned something. What was it you did? Please tell us. Because if you don't, then your mentor is going to contact you back and say, hey, this isn't good enough. The state of Michigan wants to know what you're actually doing. And you don't want to have to go back and redo it again. You're actually at that time then spending valuable time, or wasting your time redoing that, and you don't want to redo it either. So be very specific: course, unit, lesson, title, and something you learned. You could even say, this is difficult for me. I need help. I need tutoring. Or I'm great at this. I was familiar with it before. I knew how to do this, so it was easy for me. That's perfect too. Next, count month. Right now it is count month, October. October is count month, and the state of Michigan, again, requires that we have that two-way communication. So count month. Count month, it is mandatory mentor contact every week, every Wednesday. We often call it What's Up Wednesday. What's up? Because we want to know what you're doing. So the contact week goes from Wednesday to Tuesday. So it's midweek to midweek. We don't set this week. The state of Michigan, again, is in control of when our weeks are. So Wednesday to Tuesday, we prefer if you can respond on Wednesday. There are benefits to doing that, and we'll get to that. But again, then you'll have less people calling you, bothering you, telling you to get that mentor contact in. So try and respond every Wednesday, however your mentor wants you to. This is a thing. You must complete assignments in your courses every week. If there is some specific emergency, family emergency, whether, maybe a death in the family or whatnot, they will make an, exception to do that, but we can't do that every week. You must work. Our program's available 24/7. Even if there was a family emergency or something that happened, you still must contact your mentor, but you must have work. You must have mentor contact. Your mentor is actually going to double check that you are truly working, because the state of Michigan checks that what you're saying you're doing, you're actually doing. So it's on us as mentors too to double check what you're telling us is correct. So if you tell me, hey, I worked 5 days, I did an assignment in my Algebra 2 every day, and if I log on and say, oh gosh, I see you worked 1 day in algebra, just tell us the truth. It's not a problem. It doesn't, do your best. Sometimes things come up during the week, but just make sure if you're unable to work and that you catch up the following week. So tell us what you're working on. We double check. The state of Michigan checks. If for some reason you do not contact, you do not work, the state of Michigan will withdraw. So it is required that you contact every week. There are no ifs, ands, or buts during count month, and that is October 3rd through 30th, February 13th through March 12th. So again, there are raffle gift cards. So if you do respond on Wednesday, and everyone that responds will be in a raffle. So October, currently we're just finishing up week 1 of count that runs, again, Wednesday to Tuesday, October 3rd to October 9th. If you haven't responded to your mentor by today, please do so. And then again, first thing you can, tomorrow morning, October 10th, would be our second week. And therefore, you do see then October 17th and October 24th. If you are in a different district, sometimes they have longer ones. Again, don't forget, we also have Count Month in February. Begins February 13th, which is a Wednesday. Goes to Tuesday the 19th, again the 20th, 27th, March 6th, and it ends on March 12th. So there are, as mentioned, there are benefits to responding and responding early. There are raffles given out, and these raffle winners receive gift cards. They are $25 gift cards. So if you do respond Wednesday, you get 5 entries into the raffle for that week. If you contact by Friday, you get 3 entries into the raffle for that week. If you respond anytime after Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you do get 1 entry. So be sure to respond. But again, the more entries, obviously, the more chances you have to win. So we will draw every Wednesday a winner for that Wednesday contact. There's 4 winners on Wednesday. And then every week, there are 4 winners. And if you're in the Wednesday raffle, you're also eligible for the weekly raffle. So you have not only, you know, those 5 entries for the Wednesday, you get those 5 entries also into the week. So there are 8 raffles per week. They are $25 gift cards, and there's a wide variety. Amazon, Foot Locker, yeah, Meijer, quite a few. So Buffalo Wild Wings, Walmart, either your teacher, your mentor, your success coach will call you and ask which one you want specifically, but I believe they do announce it in Edmentum, in the messages, who actually won that week. Please make sure you are working. Please make sure you are responding, and we really appreciate it. Well, thank you again for attending. We appreciate it. And again, check your Edmentum messages for mentor is reaching out to you if that's how they do it. Otherwise, check your Edmentum messages for Zoom Live lessons. Thanks so much. Have a good day.